How does an Aboriginal community track their well-being? This community well-being work was conducted with the Naskapi of Chicamac. Located in the subarctic of Quebec and bordering Labrador, this nation has a reserve population of 850. The community still preserves much of their traditional culture and way of life, but recent mining activities are bringing a lot of change. Between the 1950s and 1980s, widespread mining took place near where the Naskapi now live. These past mining ventures had large effects on the landscape and nearby communities. Many scars to the landscape are still visible. Because the ground near the Naskapi is so rich with minerals, mining companies returned. Given the size of the current and proposed mining and the impacts that come with it, there was a need to track community well-being over time. The Naskapi are just 15 kilometers from Schefferville, where recently several mining companies have revived abandoned projects. One company now controls a 210-kilometer-long iron ore belt located in and around the Naskapi Reserve. Major construction has taken place, and to date, millions of tons of ore have been shipped south. Without a doubt, these new mining projects have affected and will continue to affect such a small and remote First Nation. All this activity and impending change prompted the Naskapi to track change over time. The Naskapi are just one of several Aboriginal communities in Canada that are monitoring change. They're not just monitoring generic indicators, but instead they're monitoring what's important to them, indicators that define them as a people. Right now, there are over 150 agreements between mining companies and Aboriginal communities in Canada, but only a few, those circled in black, are monitoring change using their very own indicators. A baseline study can give us a clear picture of community well-being. Not only is it important to know where the community is at, but it is also important to know where the community wants to go. What's their vision? Time series evidence is so important. It lets a community see how they ended up after past decisions and see if they need to change their course a little. The first phase of this well-being study was data collection. We want to determine what's important to the Naskapi. What indicators represent the Naskapi? This was determined with indicators that represented the community's hopes, values, and concerns. The nation identified a lot of values, hopes, and concerns that are specific to them, such as family, culture, opportunity, and the environment. And the three tables here highlight the combined data. Turning this information into indicators and then survey questions was a really important part of the study. The data was narrowed down into 13 themes, such as social life, communication, health, language, and governance. And then from each theme stemmed different questions. Here's one example of how the data became an indicator and then a survey question. A Naskapi value was feeling safe, a hope was to have more community patrols, and a concern was girls walking to town alone. This data then created the indicator satisfaction with emergency personnel, and then the survey question best indicate your level of satisfaction with emergency personnel. Next, a survey with 60 questions was created and distributed to each household. Chicamac has a total of 146 houses and 15 apartments, and the study team was able to survey 91% of those households. The survey gave us a lot of valuable data, clearly identifying community values, hopes, and concerns in light of mineral development. But what does this data tell us? How can we use it? Here, let's take a look at a few examples. The interviews and focus groups showed that housing was a concern. A theme that was brought to light was overcrowding and the need for more housing. So we asked, how many total residents live in your home? Here, look at the graph. It shows us that 57 homes have 5 or more people in them, and that 6 homes in the reserve have 10 residents. Interestingly, 14 homes only have 1 resident. So what can we do with this information? Well, maybe this could help the chief and council as they assess the need for further construction. Members of the nation were worried about their work and how it might affect their time needed to practice traditional activities, such as caribou hunting. So we asked, do the members of your household feel as though they have enough time to participate in hunting or fishing and other traditional activities? Look closely. 48% indicated that they rarely or never had enough time. How might this change in the future? We know that a lot of mineral development has taken place in a short amount of time, and this has raised local concern, but has also sparked some support. So we asked, how concerned are you regarding the mineral development within your territory? The results show that 54% of the participants are at least somewhat concerned with nearby mineral development. This could be a useful tool in gauging the population's future support or apprehension for new mining projects. When asked about their hopes in light of mineral development, many Naskapi said they would like to benefit from more training and education. This translated into the survey question, How many household members have completed additional education or training? 29 households had 0 members with additional training, but the remaining 100 households had at least 1 member. The results from this survey have given us useful data about community values, hopes, and concerns in the context of mining. But it's important to note that the main goal was to build a baseline with indicators that are important to the Naskapi, and then see how these change over time. So what's next for the well-being study? How can we keep using this information? The study tells us where the Naskapi are at now, but to know how they're changing, we need to survey the community every few years. If you want more information about this study and other research going on with the Naskapi, then check out the Canadian Business Ethics Research Network website at cburn.ca. Thanks for watching.